Welcome to our channel. Today we're talking about recognizing mental health issues in your dog. Dogs feel joy, sadness, fear, and even anxiety. They communicate through their behavior. Knowing the signs of a troubled mind in your dog is crucial. It's our responsibility to understand their silent language and offer support. A dog's gotta eat, right? So when their relationship with food changes, it's a big red flag. If your pup suddenly turns their nose up at their favorite meal or gobbles down food like they haven't eaten in days, something's up. Pay attention to those eating habits, folks. Dogs communicate through barking, whining, and howling, but when it becomes excessive, it's a cry for help. This unusual vocalization is often a sign of anxiety or distress. Don't ignore these cries for help. If your friendly dog suddenly becomes aggressive, there's a reason behind it. Aggression often stems from fear, anxiety, or frustration. It's their way of saying, "Back off, I'm not comfortable." Dogs are naturally energetic and playful, so when your playful companion loses interest in their favorite activities, it's a clear sign something's wrong. This shift in energy levels can be a sign of depression or anxiety. Just like humans, dogs can experience a lack of motivation when they're struggling emotionally. We all have our quirks, but when they become obsessive, it's a deeper issue. Dogs can develop obsessive-compulsive behaviors like excessive licking or tail chasing. These behaviors are often a manifestation of anxiety. It's like being trapped in a loop, unable to break free. Dogs thrive on companionship. When left alone for extended periods, it can trigger anxiety and distress. If your dog becomes destructive or vocalizes excessively when you leave, it's a sign of separation anxiety. Imagine the panic and fear they feel when they're alone. Fear is a natural instinct, but when it becomes irrational, it impacts a dog's quality of life. Newly developed fears can be signs of an underlying anxiety disorder. It's like their world has suddenly shrunk, filled with invisible threats. While dogs love sleep, a sudden increase in sleeping hours can be a red flag. If your dog seems withdrawn and sleeps more than usual, it could be a sign of depression. Sleep becomes their escape from overwhelming sadness. Dogs thrive on interaction and companionship. When a dog starts isolating themselves, it's a sign something's wrong. This self-isolation can be a symptom of depression or anxiety. A dog's grooming habits can tell you a lot about their emotional state. Significant changes like excessive licking or neglecting grooming can be signs of stress. It's their way of coping with emotional turmoil. Dogs communicate through a variety of sounds. New or unusual vocalizations can indicate distress or pain. It's their way of telling you something's wrong. When a house-trained dog starts having accidents, it's a sign something's off. These lapses can indicate stress, anxiety, or a medical condition. Pay attention to these signs. There's a difference between playful energy and the restless energy of anxiety. Constant movement and inability to relax are signs of anxiety. It's like their internal switch is stuck in the on position. Dogs experience fear physically, often as trembling or shaking. If your dog is trembling without an obvious cause, it's a sign of anxiety. Pay attention to these physical signs. Excessive drooling or panting without an apparent trigger can be a sign of stress. If your dog is drooling excessively or panting heavily at rest, their stress levels are elevated. In the canine world, avoiding eye contact can be a sign of fear or insecurity. If your dog avoids your gaze, it's a sign they're feeling uneasy. Pay attention to these subtle cues. Compulsive eating or drinking can be signs of underlying emotional distress. If your dog can't control their food or water intake, it's a cause for concern. When a dog stares blankly at walls or into corners, it can be a sign of cognitive issues. Consult with a veterinarian to rule out any underlying conditions. Relentless pacing is a sign of anxiety or stress. This constant movement is their way of releasing pent-up energy. Sometimes dogs exhibit aggression towards inanimate objects. This behavior can be a sign of frustration or anxiety. It's their way of releasing pent-up energy and emotion. Dogs are masters at hiding their pain. Be observant and attuned to their subtle cues. If you notice any of these signs, consult with a veterinarian or a professional. Early intervention can improve your dog's well-being. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on keeping your pets happy and healthy.